I made a new pattern. Look at her. Isn't she cute? Never mind these. I left them long, forgot to cut them. This is not the bag I'm making in the video. I will be making one with gnomes. Little sneak peek for you. She doesn't have a name yet. I wanted to make a crossbody bag for kids. And of course, anyone, a kid at heart, is allowed to love this and purchase it if they like. I haven't named the pattern yet. It does feature some common style techniques, whatever you want to call it. But I never looked at a pattern. I had this in mind. I just kind of cooked it in my mind 2 nights ago. Sunday night, yeah, 2 nights ago, I couldn't even sleep, and I have been in excruciating pain with my upper back, and that has kept me awake for days. This is night number 6 of hardly any sleep. Anyway, I was so preoccupied 2 nights ago trying to come up with ways of making this, and the back is just plain. Yeah, I could hardly get to sleep. I ended up getting up a couple hours after I went to bed. I just could not sleep, and I made notes. So it's got a top zipper. I have tons of number 3 zippers. I said that in my last video with the tiny little coin purses. I have tons of these, and I need to get rid of them. So it's just a big-ish open compartment. There's no slip pocket or zipper pocket inside, although that would be super easy to do and really cute. I wanted to be very hardware light. Like this is what you get. This is the hardware. So I just created these channels for this macrame cording to go through and tie a knot on the bottom. I didn't want beads in case this is for a 3-year-old. This makes it adjustable for the purchaser to just have the strap any length they want, and they can chop it down. And I might even include another strand of macrame cording, although they could just go to a dollar store and get something themselves. Anyway, then it has a front zipper pocket, and these number 3 zippers don't like to open very well. There might be better quality ones. These are from Amazon. You know, you get like 80 of them for 20 bucks. And just a fairly sizable pocket in there. I haven't tried to put my phone in there yet, and I can't right now because I'm talking to it. Anyway, let's get started on the gnome version of the unnamed crossbody bag. I thought I was majorly on the ball prepping for this pattern because I have done my zipper prep. What else? I've marked all my centers, and then when I went to start doing this, I realized I didn't have my pocket piece. I prefer things ironed, and of course this isn't alive and I could have ironed it, but it's just the front pocket piece. Lining piece, I think it'll be fine. Anyway, here's the top zipper. My husband just came home. Please hold. Okay, yeah, he's out fishing, and he said he wouldn't be home till 5, and it is 5 to 4, so he's got to deal with the boat motor, and it could get loud, but I don't want to stop doing this. I want to soldier on. Not that, you know, there's no soldering yet. Just tidying up my floor, and I could do that some other time. But anyway, okay, so I marked all my centers. What was I saying? Zippers, number 3 zippers. This is the front panel zipper. This is the top zipper. This is my lining pocket, front pocket. And then this is my exterior back panel. And these are the exterior front panels. This is directional fabric, so that is something that we have to keep in mind. Everything is interfaced except for the front lining pocket lining piece. I have just overlapped and used scraps. The whole point, the kids' crossbody bag or kids' purse, whatever you want to call it, was born from the need to use up scraps. And then that way I can keep my prices down, because people come by with their young daughters or sons and they like a bag and they look at the price and they're like, these are big people's prices. Let's go. So I want to cater to them too. And what better way to get rid of, to make them happy, sell it at a low price point, and use up scraps that are taking up far too much room in my house. So I even interfaced, most of this is lightweight interfacing. I did have one piece that is medium weight, but it'll be totally fine, especially when it's on a lining piece. I'll let you know at a later date if there's anything that feels like a groove. Lining isn't so bad, but exterior, yeah, it wouldn't be great. It wouldn't be ideal to have a groove. Sorry, I don't know how much of this you can see. That almost looks like there's a groove. Let's see. Yeah, that's where that one ended. So there was a piece there, and an overlap in the middle, and maybe the overlap piece should be on the other side, but then there'd be two grooves. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but whole thing is to be inexpensive. So let's just set some of this aside. I need the lining and the front zipper and the bottom front panel. Taking our, get rid of that zipper too. Now that I had to shut the window and turn the air conditioning off so that the fumes don't come in here, it is just raging hot. Or maybe it's just me. Anyway, no comments. That's not what I want to do. I want my exterior. These are insanely, obscenely too long. And I don't remember when I made the first one how much I trimmed them down. They do end up getting trimmed down quite a bit. I did make my zipper, I think the top one, a ½ inch shorter than I did on the other one because it was hard to get past those zipper tabs. So I want my zipper to open from left to right. So right sides facing each other, zipper pull down, line up the center on the zipper tape, marked with silver marking pen with the little V I snipped into the top part there. Grab some clips. I actually do like to use double-sided tape here because these zippers like to shift a lot. I shall return. Oh man, I could have put this on without you having to hang around. Oh well. Just trying to find... I apologize for the sound out there. My husband's flushing out the motor and it's not overly loud here for me, but definitely audible. That's for certain. Okay, put that on there. Yeah, double-sided tape is the best. Now, I did sew down each side of the tabs here. They're not really tabs. Maybe I should call them zipper extenders. Yeah, just to keep everything all in one piece so that there's just no shifting, no bunching, and messy. And then we come along here and do another piece. Of course, you do not need to do this. You can do clips or pins. Hey, pins! I haven't sewn with pins for years, it feels like. Oh my gosh. It's cotton. I think I reacted to that like a kid who finds out they're going to Disneyland. Somebody bought a small bucket hat on the weekend at the farmer's market that I went to. Traveled a long way for not the best profit, but it was okay. I had fun. I had a lot of fun. But this little girl, red hair, she was adorable. The hat looked amazing on her. And then her parents, her mom, said to me, yeah, it'll be perfect for our surprise trip to DL. And I almost yelled out, Disneyland? Like, oh my gosh, that would have not gone very well. So I actually kept my cool. Moving the zipper pull out of the way. I want a smaller foot on here so that I can get closer to the teeth. I have talked about this in previous videos, but I was curious about getting those spring-loaded push button things for quick removal and insertion of presser feet. I bought a 2-pack. They came in the mail yesterday, and I am sad to report they are going back. And there is nothing wrong with them as far as I know. I'm not strong enough. Those springs are strong. Oh my gosh. I can't do it. It's just too awkward for me. Yeah, too painful. My seam allowance is running along the 7mm. No, yes. 7mm mark on the throat plate here. That might be, what would it be? I don't know, 1 centimeter, 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter, which is pretty much 3/8 of an inch. And yeah, I live in Canada where the metric system was supposed to be the way to go. Yeah, these zipper pulls, I mean, zipper extenders are bat wings. No, 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 no. Anywho. And I'm just going to fold everything out. And with this being cotton, I could take it to the iron. And I really could because this isn't alive. But, nah, I'm just going to finger press. And leave this foot on. This foot will probably stay on throughout the pattern. Somebody commented on my previous video because I asked if this was comparable to a Janome HD9, and someone commented that it was comparable to their Juki TL 2010Q. And I've seen tutorials with that machine being used, and I would have to concur. Yes, definitely. And considering that the Janome HD9 is such a popular semi-industrial for bag makers, and I watch a lot of bag making videos, it's surprising that there is not one YouTuber that I watch that uses it. That is so weird. So this pocket, you could cut this pocket piece into 2 pieces and then just maybe add 1/2 inch or so that it ends up in the same spot, or you could make it a more shallow pocket. FYI, I did try putting my cell phone in the front pocket of the made one, and it did fit. It wasn't like I started at this end and pushed it down. There was resistance here, so it's probably not the best, but it does fit. If that was the only place that you could put a phone, then it does fit. Why does that feel so weird? Because I didn't iron it. And yes, I dropped it on the floor. Oh my gosh, look at that. I can't have that. All fixed, top stitched. And then it is time to bring this up, and let's hope that it's just because it's wrinkled there that it's not wanting to line up properly. Yeah, that's all it is. Yay! Turn this way. Yeah, I can't get this. Oh, maybe it's because this is a teeny tiny project. That's probably what it is. I was going to say I can't get the camera figured out where to position it like I had it last time, because I thought there was more tabletop to see, but maybe that's because it was a teeny tiny project. Or not more tabletop to see. You could see the entire prep process on the tabletop. That's what it probably is. Or was. And I charged up my mic and the receiver transmitter thing, whatever it's called, and it's sitting on my kitchen table. Can you hear me from there? Mm-hmm. And we're just going to fold this up and line things up, liner line up with the V. Oh yeah, I could have used pins again. Dang it. Keep forgetting. And I don't want to use pins on the front part here now because it's all sticky. Directional. My gnomes, yay, are thankfully facing the right way. If they were upside down, I would not fix it. I would just say it was intentional and that I wanted the wearer of the crossbody bag to be able to look down and see the gnomes looking up at them. So that would have been my save. Yeah, but let me just double check that. Okay, everything's lining up. Gnomes are upright. I'm kind of freaked out by gnomes. I love the Christmas ones. They're cute. They're really cute. And these ones are okay. They're okay. So then are there any other gnomes? Maybe I should not be so freaked out by them. Maybe I should go see my husband, do this seam and top stitch, and then go see the hubby before he takes off again. No, he's not going fishing again. Tiny bit of bulk there, so it was a little thunk thunk. The needle is relatively new. I sewed up those little pouches, I believe, and then the other unnamed crossbody bag, the pink one, the woodland creature one. And there's nothing behind this one, it's just standing on its own. And actually, now that I think of it, I think I interfaced this top portion a little heavier than the rest of it because it is just standing on its own. But it's such a small bag and it's just cotton fabric, I really don't think it'll matter. Sorry, I don't know if you could hear me over that. Oops, that was loud. And there's our, yeah, I was going to say there's our front panel assembled, and it is, but we do want to baste our pocket piece closed on each side. So you can start on either end you want, top or bottom, whichever. Might be a little bit of shifting if you don't go in the same direction. So I think I'll flip it over and start from the same direction. And maybe it would have been better to start from the top and work our way down, but it's all good. she is. Let's cut her wings off. Now, there she is. Look what the cat dragged out. A very, very dusty pin collection. A pin magnet. I'm gonna try pinning. Oh my goodness. These are awful pins. They're new. Bought them last year and they're new still because I haven't used them. How do you do pins on a zipper? I've seen people, I guess, just shallowly. Let's try it. Ooh, there we go. Very bizarre. I started sewing in 2020, making masks. And used pins until I watched tutorials and people had sewing clips. I'm like, ooh, get me some of those. And now I am team clip. Ow, all the way. No, that didn't draw blood. Yay! Oh yeah, look at that. That extra ½ inch off the zipper length is going to give me plenty of clearance. And not too much that it ends up being too big of an opening on the sides. It'll be totally fine. So, oh, pins. Yes, they hurt. Shocking. So now I'm going to... No, that's not right. Using something new and I can't even figure it out. Okay, I mean, not new. Centuries old, I'm sure. I don't know, man. Meanwhile... Okay, what's... Oh, the pin. Yeah. Eek. Sorry. Maybe I'll fast forward. Maybe I won't. But I don't think I'll do it again. Oh, it is through there. Okie dokie. Actually, yeah, these zippers, they really don't like to stay. Look at that where I didn't have a pin. And because they're just so small, such a narrow zipper, you just really need all the help you can get to keep it in place. Are we good? Are we good in the hood? Let's see. After all that, I'm really not overly sure. Yeah, I'm going for it. Oh. Ow. Oh my gosh. This is funny. One pin, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 pins. Oh, zipper pull. Too much to remember. Where is that stupid thing? There it is. Oh, you can't get past a pin. Okie dokie. Yep. Two pins. And a zipper pull. And a zipper pull again. Yep, I'm not liking these pins, but I'll see it through. Ow. 3. Pin number 4. I don't like this. The lining is shifting a little bit. Hopefully the zipper isn't. Yeah, it's really shifting. Let's see. More seam ripping, perhaps? Let's get that out of the way. So I resist temptation to try again. You know what? It's a good enough result not to be repeated. So I'm just folding the lining over the zipper and putting the panels wrong sides together, both right sides out. Right side out front, right side out back. And I forgot to trim off the excess here. I have a quilting ruler that is 9.5 by 9.5. So I cut some of my pieces just using that and didn't trim off the excess. So I will have to do that before we get to boxing corners and stuff. Yep. Just gonna finger press. There we go. And yeah, it's a little crooked. No, it's not bad. A little tiny bit crooked on the side, but that's okay. As long as we just line up using the exterior panel, everything will be totally fine. And we're just going to repeat that without pins this time. And yeah, my hands are fine. Just going to put the other exterior panel right side up. While I say that, let me just grab it. And I'm going to put a clip in the top so that I know my gnomes are going in the right direction. And then we take the lining piece and do the back, and away we go. Next up, I need to attach the cord channels on the front panel. They could go on the back panel too, it doesn't matter. But at least this, we have some landmarks on here as to ideal placement. I noticed that on the original, let me just get that. These seem, I didn't interface it, I just used one layer of fabric, folded it in half towards the center, and then top stitched. I did stick another piece of fabric in the middle to stabilize it a little bit more, but it is pretty squishy still, and I feel it's a little tall. And I did the same dimensions for this second, keep wanting to call them trolls, gnomes. But actually, you know, I think I'm going to... this time I interfaced them so they are strong. Those ones will be strong enough too, there's no problem. But I think I'm actually going to fold it over and make it smaller because it won't be that chunky. This is just cotton batik with one layer of lightweight interfacing in there. So I think it'll be okay. Well, it's a little thick, but Carol can handle it here. This is, I did somewhat of a tutorial as my last video with making little coin purses. And this is a Pfaff Grand Quilter Hobby 1200. It was gifted to me last year by a neighbor, and that was very generous of her, and I deeply appreciate it. So for the placement, we're going to get both of our linings out of the way, which I went off before I came back. I trimmed the front panel to match up with the exterior, or the lining panel to match up with the exterior. And so now we just want to get everything out of the way and have the finished end be inward, and that is way too big, so we're going to have a lot of overhang here, and that's totally fine. Just trying to see which side is prettier. Oh, you know what, then that means it's kind of open, so I'm going to make sure that the fold part is at the bottom, just to make it a little bit prettier. Yeah, it's all a work in progress. Maybe if I do get into making patterns, I would have testers, and then they would report back. Yeah, it's these are really large, but I want it up higher. Yeah, I don't have a ruler here. Let's see, I don't, but I'm just gonna grab it, mark it with my finger, because I have a cutting mat. It's basically 1/2 inch on the fabric, and maybe that'll be what we go with. 1/2 inch with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Yeah, you want it snug. And if it's too snug, then I guess I have to go with a smaller macrame cord. So I'm just gonna go, you know what, I'm just gonna go in half, the halfway point of the top panel, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. Whoops. And not clips on the floor in the process. And my relationship with pins is over. Yay! Party time! Anyway, that's enough of that silliness. So we're just going to baste it on, basically. Not basically, literally. And yep, we're going to hear some thunk, thunk, thunk. Because this is thick. It's not so thick, it's just a lot of layers. So I'm going to go slow. And to the other side. And another thing you could do is put one on the front panel and one on the back, but then you'd run the risk of not lining it up properly. Yeah, maybe marks would be good. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't eyeball it so much. And I need a ruler. Everything's in the other sewing area. Well, I can just clip this on and have a little looky look at it. Fold it up, compare. Sides of the exterior panel held together, let go quickly. Yeah, it's really, really close this way. might be sticking out a little bit more. Oh, you know what? This is too narrow. Once I put the seam allowance on there, dang nabbit. So I ended up seam ripping, and I did grab a ruler, and I measured 1/2 inch down from this top part here. And this is 1.5 inches long once it's folded, so I went 3/4 of an inch. In or out, whichever way you want to look at it. All my other pieces are out of the way, and I'm just going to baste these in place. There is an automatic thread cutter on this machine, and I have used it in the past. I don't know if this is true or not, but I have heard that sometimes you really shouldn't use the thread cutter because it causes problems, and I have had this machine get really mad at me, and it seems to happen a lot more often when I use the thread cutter. So if anyone can verify that, I would greatly appreciate it. So now I'm going to box the corners. I will just do one panel in front of you with the drawing of it. It's just going to be a 1/2 inch square on here. So we got the 1/2 inch mark there, the 1/2 inch mark there. Just line them up on both sides and draw it on with whatever marking tool you want. I got my silver marking tool here. That's going on there enough. And just do the other side, and then I will do all the others off camera. Okay, I have clipped all my corners, 1/2 inch squares on all 4 pieces. Really important right here, right now. Open your zipper, your top zipper, 2/3 of the way, 3/4 of the way. These are really teeny tiny zipper pulls, so probably, no, I was going to say you probably open it all the way. No, don't. This one, I almost sewed over it. When the zipper was a 1/2 inch longer, the zipper was fully closed, I almost sewed over it, so open that one up too. So now we're just going to line up our panel pieces with the little snippy snips in the middle here, marking our centers, and line everything up without the lining in it. You wouldn't get that kind of back talk from waterproof canvas. It would just fall away, not stick to its opponent. Don't mind me. Don't really need this many clips, but you know me. Or if you don't know me, you'll know me quickly or shortly. Let's just get the other side done. Lining up the centers again. This one I cut a really big center piece out of, but it is totally fine. It's still in the seam allowance. Plus, in order to make a cotton lining fit better, or any lining for that matter, shouldn't even specify cotton, you want to make your seam allowance a little bit bigger on the lining than the exterior so that it sits in there nicely. No baggy linings. So you want to compare your top seam there with your top seam there, line it up super nice. And as I usually say, as best you can. And hopefully it doesn't take you as long as mine's taking me. I'll redo this one because the lining wasn't ideally set. It still isn't. What's going on here? Oh dear. Maybe this other piece was too long too. Let me see. Yeah, it very well could be. Remove all the clips. Even, yeah, this whole thing. Maybe it isn't too long. It didn't look too long before, but something ain't jiving here. What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna line up my sides first. I don't know why that was doing that. I'm sorry if that was really close. What's going on here? Maybe this piece was cut at the 9.5 inches too. Like, that's weird. Let's see if the lining, oh, the lining is all off too. What have I done? This isn't cool, man. Just gonna do it the way I always do it. Line up the bottom. Line up the side. Nope, it's not lining up. Okay, I was actually going to edit this whole thing so you didn't see this, but you know what? I keep it real. What ended up happening was I used a 9.5 by 9.5 inch quilting ruler to cut these panels just to be easy, and it's 9 inches wide, 9.5 inches long. I remembered to trim it down to 9 inches. What's going on? Oh, maybe I had them the wrong way. No, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, I've got 1/2 inch too much here, and it's just going to take a quick fix. This is both the lining and exterior back pieces, so it just needs to be trimmed along there with the new boxed corners put on it, and it will be good to go. Okay, everything is trimmed up, all nice and even, Steven, I hope. I did up my zipper to see if everything, like to make sure that it was, I had the best chance at lining things up properly. And, oh, I'm not even going to mark my centers because I can line up just at the bottom here. Gotta get my readers back on my face. Just going to line up from corner to corner. I have not tried this off camera, so if it doesn't work, I'm going to have all sorts of a hissy fit. But I'm sure it'll work. And then, you know, I probably will not have a hissy fit. I will probably just laugh. Laugh, laugh, laugh. Things already feel much better. It's weird how just clipping the sides before fixing it, that I could actually, maybe I shouldn't say anything yet. I could actually feel that something wasn't sitting right. Woohoo! I can handle, oh yay! Whee! Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Why did I apologize? Nope. I'm just a happy camper. Happy camper. You know, I really don't like not having a lot of clips. It doesn't need as many as a bucket hat or a really, you know, I was gonna say high-end bag. Okay, I did not mean that. Ring-a-ding-ding, hoity-toity. But I'm using red clips here because red means caution, stop, pay attention, and that's where we leave the turning hole because this is the lining, I do believe. Yes, it is. As things are going, I'm almost thinking, I don't know how much I trust me. But all is well. Sorry if you can't see this very well. Oh, this part didn't close up, this pocket, but that is okay. It will get closed up on this next part. And there we go. We're all set to sew this up. And we start at one red clip at a bigger seam allowance, slightly, not much bigger. It is cotton and it's not heavily interfaced, so it won't be that bad to turn out. Just stop at your corner and reposition. You do not sew just through your corners or anything. When you get close to when you're approaching the exterior, you want to get your seam allowance back to normal. Now, since I made the zipper, both zippers a ½ inch shorter, this should be absolute piece of cake to get over or past, and it was. I'm just going to backstitch and go over this part again. I should have trimmed those little ears down, and I'm going to go over them again too. Because just extra reinforcement. Needle up, reposition, flip your clip, line her up. Where's our zipper part? Oh, right, it's coming up. So it's the little channel. Now we're getting up to our side of the top zipper. She doesn't want to go back anymore. Fine. Oh, let's get a bigger seam allowance to match the other side. And we're coming up to the other warning clip color. couple more steps. I do not have any other color macrame cording other than that bright pink. And it's not to say that the bright pink wouldn't look cute with this gnome fabric, but I'm sure that there are better colors. So the strap part will not be completed, although I could demonstrate with a pink piece. That would not be a problem. Just trimming the threads from my corners. Don't even know if you really need to if you leave enough room or enough thread. Oops, sorry. Enough slack. Anywho, it is box the corners time. Just pull your fabric away from each other, and I'm going to butterfly the seams open. And again, you could take this to the iron. I'm not going to. And just pull it apart, line it all up. The teeny tiny little box. Not really a box anymore. Nope, that's the way I like to do it. Just make sure it's open and lined up. And the exterior pieces. I like the bottom of the bag panel to be down when I sew my box corners. I don't think it matters, but that's just what I do. Who I learned it from? Couldn't tell you. Did I learn it from someone? Couldn't tell you. Because I don't know. I don't remember. Even though the little tiny hole that's left from the boxed corners from our seam allowance, even though it's way smaller than ½ an inch, I sew at the regular seam allowance and it ends up, I don't know if it is a ½ an inch, but it ends up boxing the corners quite nicely. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And you really won't be able to see this. So I'm going to pause you and move you to the other side. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. So this is the lining piece, so you do want to stick with your little bit bigger seam allowance than the exterior. And corner number 2. Corner number 3. We're on the exterior now, so you just go back to your original seam allowance. Sure, corner number 4 is deciding to give a little bit of attitude. Oh, that didn't sound good. Not gonna push it. Wow, I think that might be growth. Usually I would just be like, I'd stop for a second, but then I'd be like, well, no, nothing major happened, so it's good. Maybe it isn't. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm almost out of top thread. If you can believe it. I looked at it when I started. I'm like, oh my gosh. Could I run out? Of course I could. I think I've run out of top thread once in the 6 years that I've been sewing. Okay, don't mess me up. There we go. Yay! And if this bag was going to be much bigger, made with vinyl, whatever, I would do a second row of stitching just to the right of what I just did, just to reinforce it. But this is just cotton. It's not a very big bag, and I think it will be just fine. I'm going to trim the little ears off of the cord channels. And on the first bag, I was contemplating trimming the seam allowance down, and I didn't do it. And I almost, you know what, I'm not going to. I think it'll be just fine. So now it is turn it right side out time. Okay, it is turn the bag right side out time. Hopefully you remembered to leave your zipper open. I'm going to reach in and open it all the way. Not that it's necessary. I just don't like hearing the zipper teeth go, you know, when you pull it and open it. Just gonna reach in, and shouldn't be a difficult birth, depending on the turning hole you left open. Mine, my whole hand fits in. See how cute our little oh, there's ladybugs. Didn't really notice those. Cute little ladybugs. Not liking how thick these cord channels are, but I'm liking how much room there is in here, and it was a breeze to sew. But should probably trim those corners down to make it look a little more polished. Let's just stuff it in there and have a little look-see. That's so cute. Isn't that cute? Front zipper. Oop, a little dark for the lining, but it'll be fine. Be just fine. And next we'll be sewing up, closing up the lining. It is time to close up our lining, our turning hole from the bottom, and I used a red clip at the beginning here. And of course, now that I've taken it off, I don't know where I needed to start, but that's okay. And to give it a more professional finish, I could have swapped out my thread color. I chose not to. And you can pull your lining apart just to make sure you got it all. And I did, yay! Okay, I decided to do a crossbody strap. It definitely does not match the, I keep wanting to say troll, gnome bag, but at least it will give you an idea, and I will show you how I threaded it through and all that fun stuff. So this is just a scrap piece of yarn, and I have a little crochet hook here with me. Gotta get my readers on so I can actually see what I'm doing. So I just take the crochet hook, and I have to think this through for a second. Yeah, maybe it doesn't matter. Anyway, I just put the crochet hook through one of the cord channels. Crochet hook. This, I think, is about 36 inches long. I don't know. You just hold that, and pull it through. And it fits. Yay! And then you just tie it off where you want. And this is much snugger, and I love the fact that it's way shorter. So, lesson learned from the first one. I'm just going to tie one simple knot in it, and you repeat it for the second side. Crochet hook from the top down. Ooh, I didn't do this one. Remember how I said I wanted the fold at the bottom so it wasn't as noticeable? Darn it. Oh well. I won't make them that wide next time anyway. Have a little loop there. I don't know how much you can see. Thread that through. Hold, and pull. And let go of the yarn. And yeah, gentle knot, and I don't care about the tails. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh my gosh. So yeah, lightweight interfacing, as long as you interface the lining as well. This has structure. Plenty of structure. So there you have it. Woodland creatures, or gnomes, or both. I think they're adorable. I'm happy with the way they both turned out. Learning curves on both of them, of course. We'll put that one aside because I already showed it the intro. This one, of course I had issues. It's me, it's RJ. Of course I had issues, and you know, came along for most of it with me. Anyway, enough with the evil laugh. Very cute, practical. Again, it could be jazzed up with a slip pocket on the inside. Card slots, you know, students have, I don't know if elementary school students have student cards. I mean, I guess they do. I don't know. It's been a long time. You could put something on the back. You could put a zipper pocket. You could put a slip pocket, or just leave it blank. The whole point was to make something quick, simple, and just to use up scraps and stuff. So the unnamed crossbody bag for kids or kids at heart. Thank you for watching. If you could give this video a thumbs up, that would be awesome. If you could subscribe, I would love that too. I think there's this thing called Hype. I know that there's this thing called Hype if you're watching on a mobile device within 7 days of this video being uploaded. I don't know. Maybe do that, and then maybe I can see something on the analytics that somebody gave me a hype. That would be fun. I think that's it. I'm RJ of RJB Crafted. Thank you for watching. Take care.